Just one game for the Badgers this week, a Wednesday night matchup at Nebraska, the second Big Ten game of the season. And now just 3 games left this month, all non-conference, before Big Ten play picks up in early January. We'll check out some of the highlights from Wednesday's game in Lincoln. We'll have a sit-down with Badgers senior Andrew Rohde. We'll get you some volleyball highlights as well, as the Badgers once again getting into the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, plus our weekly chat with head coach Greg Gard. All coming up on this week's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Charlie serving from zone 1. Touches it over near the 10-foot line. Parks sets it inside left. A swing by Rubin is dug by Vigic. And then there's Carter Booth. The connection from Furbringer in the middle of the net. Booth with a bomb to the back row. Wisconsin 5, Stanford 2. 3-0 scoring run from Wisconsin. Simon hangs and bangs one over. Picked up by Rubin. It's an overpass. Wisconsin will attack. Setter dump. Furbringer. You betcha, baby. Furbringer down to the floor with the left hand. Wisconsin 16 kills, 25 attempts, no errors. The serve goes at Rubin in the middle back. Here comes Harvey flying out of the back row. Collier sticks the dig. Now back to Mimi from the back row. She'll tip down to the right front and it falls. Long string set to the left side into that Wisconsin wall, and getting stopped is Rubin. Tied at 17. She's coming up really big. Another ace for Wardlow. Pass shake to the right. That's 3 in a row. Parks serves it Simon. Guides it to Furbringer. Slide for Andrew. Overdig. Wisconsin on the attack. Collier into the block. Now it's an overdig, and it's going to work. It's Simon getting the overdig. It was Simon with the left hand. Stanford tried to play it, deflected off some
crafty shot by Simon there.
Here comes Etzler. Going to the left back at Egan. Furbringer, back setting. Here's Collier, and it's in, and it's down. And Mimi Collier has reached 23 kills, and with that kill, has reached 2,000 in her college career. 24-22. Badgers fans on their feet here. Collier serving left to right. Here comes the Stanford attack. Left side, Rubin. Kept alive by the Badgers, played over. Stanford will go again. Left side, Rubin, sharp. Simon has a great up. And now a set over, a free ball to the Cardinal. Left side, Rubin. Up and over the block, kept alive by Wisconsin on match point. Egan right side.
Egan with a kill.
Tools the block, the knockout punch. Woo! Make it 8 straight to the Elite 8. Wisconsin headed to the regional final as the Badgers stop Stanford.
I think it was really an emphasis for us to always be the one throwing punches, not the one taking them. And I think, coming out first set, you're getting your bearings and stuff. That was really efficient against Stanford.
Yeah, I think we also had just a lot of trust in one another. I mean, I know for me, if one of our hitters got blocked or made an error, they were right back in the huddle saying, got you, next ball. So I think we were just moving on super quickly, and that allowed us to hit as high as we did.
I played my postseason in the field house, and I knew that that's the environment I wanted to play in. I want to get in these big games and be competitive and play with a group of girls that want to win, that need to win. And I think our team is doing just that. I think we're gelling at the right time, and we're gaining so much momentum, and there's so much trust. And this team is just really, really good. We're firing on all cylinders. Kelly talks about the 27 kills, but also, again, I'm front row with Carter for 2 rotations, and she's got 14 kills. Like, she makes my job really easy when she's also scoring. They don't know where to go. This team is just so good, and I knew that coming here, and I knew I wanted to play with a really damn good team and compete for championships.
Set the standard, let's go.
Nice bounce, Rapp left lane line, out to Blackwell, snaps off the 3, right pocket, book it.
Scores! Badgers win it in overtime!
Wisconsin Badgers have won the Frozen Four championship.
The Badgers advance to the Sweet 16. Off the backboard for 2 from Destiny Howell.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
John Blackwell bounces to Bielauskas. Gives off to Rohde, slips it back to Bielauskas. Baseline right leaner off the rim and in. Alexis Bielauskas had 11 points, 10 rebounds against Marquette. An early bucket for him tonight. Hits the brakes, out to Bielauskas. Whips it the wrap at the top. Now it's Boyd for three. Left side, he sticks it. Boyd with a triple, and it's 16-14 Wisconsin. Side to Blackwell, drives off the wing. Jump stop, floats to Carrington, whips to Rohde. Left corner three in the air is good. Andrew Rohde with a triple. Badgers lead 21-19.
Well, next up for the Badgers will be a game on the 19th in Milwaukee, Fiserv Forum against Villanova. And with that, we bring in head coach Greg Gard. Yes, I said correctly. Game at Fiserv Forum again. Of course, they had the exhibition against Oklahoma. This is a regular season game here. And again, we've talked a little bit, Coach, about the schedules and how you put together non-conference. There's certainly a business component to this, but it's a good matchup, too, and a good chance for people in Milwaukee to check out the Badgers.
It is. You know, it's obviously great for us to be able to take our show, so to speak, on the road within the state. And obviously Milwaukee's a great place to take it to, and obviously a terrific venue there with Fiserv. But, yeah, to have a marquee non-conference matchup like this in, you know, mid to late December, I think is great for our schedule. Obviously, you mentioned the business component of it that you were obviously very mindful of in today's world. So I think a lot of really good, you know, positive things coming from it. Obviously, Kevin Willard there now from Maryland in the past few years, but you know, it'll be a good environment for us to play in.
You go back a few years ago too. There's always been, I think, an emphasis of trying to get to Milwaukee when you can for various sports. We've seen volleyball over there, of course. The American Family Field game a few years ago against Stanford. It's just, I mean, Milwaukee. It's needless to say, it's a very important community. Following the Badgers, but when you can play over there, you certainly want to take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, there's obviously this is the Badger State, right? Not just the Badger City of Madison. We're the state's team, and I think anytime we can get out, and I would love to go play in other places of the state, but the venues and opponents maybe don't quite align. But I think anytime we can take, obviously we have a terrific venue here with the Kohl Center, but anytime we can you know, get to other parts of the state, I think it's really important.
And it's part of the beauty of college basketball, too. I mean, obviously the schedule's a lot longer than a college football. You know, the Badgers in football will play Notre Dame. You have a lot of chances to play, you know, marquee opponents, which you already have clearly this season. But those are the games that for a fan is very appealing, and for a coach and for players, you continue to learn a lot of things as you move forward.
Absolutely, Matt. I think anytime you can load the schedule up, which we have tried to do within reason, and obviously you mentioned other components and financially the business part of it that comes into play in today's world, but I think we've always tried to keep our schedule relatively difficult, and we love these games. I mean, from a coaching standpoint, obviously our players, that's why they come here. They play not only in the major conference games that we play in, but also to be able to play in these high-profile non-conference games, regardless of where. Really good players want to play against other really good players, so that's all part of it. And I think I don't know if you can challenge yourself enough in today's landscape, because it still comes down to you have to perform well in the in the conference play, and I think your strength of schedule that you can boost really is important.
Part of the challenge now, you notice on the schedule, the Badgers played Nebraska on the 10th and then don't play again until the 19th. School still is a thing here. Finals are still a thing,
right? And
that's a part of it too. Keeping your guys ready on the floor, but they have some other business they're tending to.
We do. We play school very seriously here, and I think it's to have finals start right after the Nebraska game. We'll have a gap there. We'll still practice. There's 1 or 2 days where there's an exceptionally heavy day of finals in terms of our player schedules. But we'll do, they won't be as long, and we'll save them more of the contact physical practices for later in the week as we get closer to that Villanova game. But yeah, there won't be a lot of downtime or many missed days in the gym.
Has it been your experience in the past where a lot of guys, they get through it and they exhale? The finals are done now, you get back to basketball.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit just with so much of the online classes, and classes are kind of structured in different ways. Maybe they're weighted differently throughout the semester. So the days of old, Matt, when you and I were sitting there sweating and up until drinking
all-nighters.
Yeah, drinking Mountain Dew or coffee, trying to stay awake. Those the panic I think that we felt when we were at that age around finals isn't quite the same.
I know with me it was very real. Trying to make up for a lot of lost time, a lot of all-nighters 100 years ago back when I was in school. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
Time to introduce you to some of the newer faces, although if you're a Wisconsin high school basketball fan, this guy isn't really a new face. He's from here, from Brookfield Central, but now Wisconsin Badger, Andrew Rohde, from St. Thomas to Virginia to now the University of Wisconsin. The obvious question, how's the transition been? What was the spring and summer like for you, getting to know the guys and all the rest that goes with being at the University of Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing so far. I think the returners have done a great job of just bringing us new guys along and teaching us the culture, just teaching the way things go here, kind of just carrying us and, letting us go through our thing, but, bringing the whole team together. So it's been great.
How would you describe the culture here just in the few months you've now been a Badger?
Yeah, very rich in culture. I mean, obviously I grew up, from Wisconsin, and my dad went to school here, but I still don't really grasp the whole thing until you're actually a student athlete here, a student here. So, just being here and seeing all the alumni, I think that's the biggest part. We do so much interaction with our alumni here and, just learning their experiences, talking to them, getting to know people. It's been amazing.
Yeah, your dad, Kevin, was a kicker here, right? Back
yes,
so I would imagine the folks pretty excited when you decided to be a Badger, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your development from high school and then the first two stops, how would you say your game has grown here in these last few years?
A lot of different ways. Obviously being at St. Thomas, just a very open, free play style. I was kind of, playing carefree, had the ball in my hands a lot as a freshman. I think that just helped me with my confidence and just learning the game at the college level. And obviously at Virginia, I learned a lot of things just from that jump. It was a lot for me. Went through a lot of, challenges there, but learned a lot about defense, just a lot about the game in general. Yeah, here I am learning more every day.
I know you were with Coach Bennett for a year. When you mentioned defense, that's probably what people around here goes, yeah, you probably learned a lot about that into the floor. So probably it's fair to say maybe you spent more practice time on that into the floor with the Cavaliers than maybe other stops in your basketball life.
Definitely. A lot of time spent, a lot of things learned. And, yeah, it was great. I'm really, blessed to have gone through that and have learned those things. I think it's helped my game a lot. So.
And just to remind folks, they emphasize that here, too, at Wisconsin.
Definitely.
Concepts, is it different? Or mostly similar how the Badgers do things compared to where you came from?
It's a lot of similarities, kind of with the pack line. I mean, obviously there's differences in, some things we do, but there's definitely a lot of similarities. Like some of the drills Coach Gard has us doing, it'll bring back like a little flashback in my brain of doing it at Virginia, which is cool. But it's a lot of similarities for sure.
And for fans obviously around here have noticed that the offense has evolved in the last few years. Tell us about it, how you fit in it, and how fun it is to play this type of style.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's definitely been a bit of an adjustment for me, just learning how to, play faster, play with that pace, taking open looks, even at the beginning of the shot clock, which I'm not, necessarily used to. But it's been great getting adjusted to it. Like I said before, the returners have done an amazing job of, bringing us along and, teaching me. And, I'm learning from them, those guards and things like that, just kind of the way they're playing. And, yeah, it'll be great. I mean, where I fit in offense, obviously we have a lot of great scorers on our team. So, when I need to score, but just playmaking, do whatever I can to get guys involved. And, we also have a lot of bigs that can shoot the three ball really well. So just finding them, getting them open looks, and doing whatever I can to help our team win.
Watching you guys several times in the summer, not to mention training camp here, it's impossible not to notice how competitive the practice is because you guys – you look like you have the makings of being a really deep team. Give fans a little sense of what those practices, even in the summer, maybe especially in the summer, what that was like.
Yeah, for sure. Practices gets very competitive. Obviously, we do a lot of playing, so when that ball gets tipped up and it's time to go 5-on-5, there's a little bit of banter, there's talking, there's a lot of physicality. But yeah, like you said, very deep team. You can put any 5 guys really against each other, and it's going to be an even game. It's going to be a competitive game in practice. So they're always switching up the teams, mixing and matching the teams, different matchups, different, players. And it's been amazing just learning, everybody's games and playing with everybody and just getting a feel for them.
You've been on big stages, certainly in the ACC. Playing college basketball, obviously a good run at St. Thomas. How excited are you about being in the Big Ten now and playing in all these Big Ten arenas?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's games I've grown up watching since I was a little kid, just at those stadiums and dreaming about playing. And, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to just be in that fire and play with those guys.
It's always interesting how the path can work for you. But when you were at Brookfield Central, were you thinking at one point, like, not knowing how it would turn out, but like, boy, if somehow my career could land in Madison, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, after I committed to St. Thomas, I never really, thought about that. So, yeah, it's crazy. God can, have your path and change it in so many different ways. And I would have never, if you would have told me as a senior in high school I would have been finishing my career out here, I would have said no way. So it's crazy where life can take you, and especially the game of basketball.
It's always important when I've talked to guys, especially now in this era where there are guys who move through the transfer portal to get to know each other on and off the floor. I know Coach Gard has said the best teams here have been pretty close-knit.
Yeah.
What's been the best part outside of the Kohl Center for you, just being on campus, the terrace? Is there anything in particular that stands out more than the rest?
Yeah, it's been great getting to learn all the places. The terrace obviously is a good spot to go. But honestly, whenever I'm with like the team, it's always, fun just hanging out with each other. And even going back to the summer, kind of like you said, like the importance of, spending time together off the court. I think this team has done an amazing job of, just spending time, bonding with each other, learning each other, building those relationships off the court. So you know you're going to have your brother's back when you're on the court.
All right, it's going to be fun to watch. Andrew Rohde, one of the new additions to this Badger team. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
8 championships.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
From the Kohl Center in Madison, it's Education Day with area schools coming out enjoying a basketball matinee as the 7-3 Wisconsin Badgers, undefeated at home, host the 4-6 San Diego Toreros. Tapped in, stolen away. Here's Ronnie Porter, three-pointer. Ooh, left it well short. Rebound though to Cron of Wisconsin. Back outside. Here's Daniels, three-pointer right side. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Destiny Howell, three to answer, a little long. Rebound to Jennifer, Wisconsin. Outside to Daniel, she'll drive, now kicks it out Cron. Her second three-point at Jeff, and she knocks it home. Lily Cron, right of the circle, got it for Wisconsin. 7 to shoot, outside. Here's Howell, three-pointer right of the circle, and she splashes it. Destiny Howell with a three.
Yeah, you see Bucky right there. The Badgers are creeping up to 67 points, and well, there's about 3,500 elementary school students at the Kohl Center. I wonder what that's going to sound like.
On that left side, stolen away. There's going to be Shea Boland. Fires it up ahead to Spasovsky. This should be a layup. It's up and it's good. And the moment all the kids have been waiting for. Wisconsin 6-7. San Diego 39.
We were saying once we realized we needed 3 more points to get it, I think we kind of started we're just gonna play, forget about it. But it was funny because I was taking the ball out and the kids were yelling from the sidelines, 22, 22. I'm like, what the heck? They were like, we need 2 more points, we need 2 more points. So I think it was more important to them than it was for us, but we were really excited too that we were able to get them that moment.
Coach, you guys have a little bit of a break now. What do the next 11 days look like for you?
I can't wait. We got some practice time. We had a week, about a week before the Michigan State game. And I thought our players really got after it. I was so proud of them. And I think a lot of times you play like you practice. Not 100% of the time, but more often than not. And was an opportunity for us to tweak some things, to install some new things. And I thought it was a really important week for us. This couple days here, we had to take a day off and then a light practice before the game today. I like it when we get to practice pretty aggressively before we play. It'll give the girls a chance to really focus in on finals, which is the most important thing, right? Keeping basketball in its proper place. And so trying to make sure we give them what they need to do to finish strong academically. We'll have an opportunity to take a couple days off, exhale, recenter, but some stretches of some really good practices as well. So looking forward to it.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
One game on the schedule in the coming days for the Badger basketball team, that Friday night matchup at Fiserv Forum against Villanova. Yet another Big Ten, Big East matchup, this one in Milwaukee. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Every farmer wants to up their uptime, so we purposefully designed our tractors and implements to keep you in the field. Tailored for your operation, Case IH tractors are intuitive to use, easy to maintain, packed with the latest tech, and backed by dealer support you can trust. Because Case IH equipment isn't just built to work, it's built to work for you. Case IH, built by farmers.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.